Today, I will introduce our study about mobile food delivery applications. Apps like GrabFood, Foodpanda, and Shopee Food have become very popular because they allow people to order food anytime and anywhere. They are convenient, flexible, and save time. However, customers still face several problems when using these apps. Some common issues are high delivery charge, late deliveries, limited restaurant choice, payment failures, and application errors. These problems can reduce customer satisfaction and make users less likely to continue using the service. To better understand this issue, this study uses data mining techniques. Data mining helps analyze customer behavior, identify important patterns, and provide useful information that can help food delivery companies improve their service and increase customer satisfaction.
So, I will continue with the methodology. This study used a quantitative research approach. Data were collected through an online questionnaire using Google Forms from respondents who have experience using GrabFood, Foodpanda, and Shopee Food. The data were then cleaned, converted into R format, and analyzed using Weka. Information gain and correlation-based attribute evaluation were used for feature selection, while knife-based, cherry and part were used for classification. Finally, the a priori algorithm was applied to identify relationships between different factors. This technique helped identify the key factors and major problems experienced by customers when using food delivery applications.
Now, I will explain the data processing phase. First, we collected data using an online Google Form survey from 130 respondents in Malaysia. The questionnaire included 30 questions about food delivery apps, such as user experience, convenience, payment methods, and app usage. Next, the data was exported to Excel and cleaned by removing missing, duplicate, and incorrect data. This step is important because clean data gives more accurate results. After that, the dataset was converted into ARFF format for Weka. Some data such as age, income level, and app usage frequency were grouped into categories because Weka works better with categorical data. Finally, the processed data was analyzed in Weka. As shown in the charts, we can see the distribution of all 13 attributes. This process helps improve the accuracy and reliability of the machine learning analysis.
Next, I will explain the feature selection process. Feature selection is an important step because it helps identify which attributes have the greatest influence on users' intention to use food delivery applications. By selecting only the most relevant features, we can remove unnecessary or redundant data, making the classification models more efficient and accurate. In this study, Weka has used with two feature selection techniques, which are information gain and correlation-based attribute evaluation. These techniques rank each attribute based on its contribution to the target class. The results show that the most important factor is continuous intention to use food delivery apps. This is followed by preference for food delivery apps over eating out, benefits of promotions and discounts, convenience compared to dining out, and impact on daily convenience. Other moderately important factors include ease of searching and ordering food, social support in using apps, ease of learning the application, recommendation intention, and ease of using food delivery apps. The least influential factors are gender, social media influencer effects, and friends' recommendations. Overall, feature selection improves the performance of the classification models by focusing only on the most significant attributes. Next, I will discuss the algorithm selection and classification results. For this analysis, a data set containing 100 records was analyzed using Weka. 3 classification algorithms were tested: knife-based, cherry, and part. The objective was to determine which algorithm could classify users' intention to use food delivery applications with the highest accuracy. Based on the results, Part achieved the highest accuracy of 80%, followed by J-RIP with 57%, while knife-based recorded 56%. The bar chart on the right also shows that part correctly classified the highest number of instances and had the lowest number of incorrect classifications compared to the other two algorithms. This indicates that part provides the best predictive performance for this dataset because it generates accurate decision rules while maintaining a high level of classification accuracy. Therefore, part was selected as the most suitable algorithm for predicting users' intention to continue using food delivery applications.
I am excited to walk you through our last customer segmentation findings. To look past surface level data, we ran an expectations maximization clustering model. After several iterations of cross-validation, the model identified 10 distinct user clusters. And however, what is truly actionable is the concentrations. Over 76% of our entire user base fall into just 4 dominant personas. Let's look at who these users are actually. First, holding the largest market share at 26%, we have the GrabFood loyals in cluster 4. These users are completely driven by delivery speed and sleek UI executions. They stay on the platform because it works flawlessly, but they are highly vocal objectors to premium delivery fees. Right next to them at 18% are the convenience seekers in cluster 2. This cohort consists heavily of young professionals, specifically female aged 25 to 35. They choose Foodpanda solely for operational simplicity. If the app feels easy to navigate, they say. Moving down to the bottom half of the matrix, we see the highly price-sensitive segments at 70%. We have the promo hunters in cluster 8. These are young professionals splitting their loyalty between Foodpanda and Shopee Foods. They hunt for and are heavily influenced by social media campaigns and peer reviews. Finally, making up 15% of the market are the budget shoppers in cluster 3. This is a younger female demographic choosing Shopee Food almost exclusively. Their behavior is straightforward. They want the lowest baseline foods prices and they maximize savings by aggressively stacking vouchers. So what is the strategic takeaway from these clustering visualizations? First, GrabFood has built a powerful moat. Their superior user experience and delivery speeds allow them to protect their market share despite intense user pushback on pricing. Second, we are seeing a fascinating tug of war between the other two players. Foodpanda is winning users who want simple convenience, while Shopee Food is aggressively buying market share through raw pricing and promotions. For our next phase, we should focus on building organic social referral loops to target those high churn, promo hunter and budget shoppers without continuously eroding our margins.
Next, the decision tree analysis was conducted using the J48 algorithm in Weka to identify the biggest problem faced by food delivery app users. The results show that ease of use is the most important factor influencing users' problem. Users who agree that the apps were easy to use mostly report high delivery fee as their main issue. The analysis also found that reason for choosing the app, age, gender, and daily convenience influence the type of problem experienced. For example, younger users were more likely to report slow delivery, while older users merely complained about high delivery fees. Overall, findings show that these factors play an important role in understanding challenges faced by food delivery app users.
Hi everyone, Today I am walking you through our deep dive analysis of cross-variable matrix across figures 2 through 6. The overarching themes of this data is clear. Our users are highly reliant and exceptionally loyal, but they are incredibly sensitive to core operational pain points. Let's break down exactly what the data reveals figure by figure. Alright, starting with figure 2, we look at how daily convenience correlates with user complaints. What we see is a high classics, high convenience, high concern paradox. Moving to figure 3, we examine the impact of social circles on user adoptions. The data shows that highly social backing is the norm. Neutral or negative social influence is incredibly rare. Interestingly, female cluster much more heavily under the agree category, proving that social validation and peer recommendations play a significantly larger role in adoption for women than men. However, social supports only gets them through the door. On aboard this socially driven, users are just as bottlenecked by delivery fees and limited selection as everyone else. Next, figure 4 maps out the overall user experience across the big three platforms: Foodpanda, GrabFood, and Shopee Foods. The good news is that technical glitches, UI bugs, and payment processing failures are minimal and scattered around the board. The UI and UX navigation is smooth. The challenging news is that the core complaints are perfectly universal across all three apps. Users point to delivery fees and merchants' variety as their primary friction points. We also note that female activity is significantly denser here, showing the massive role they play as the primary consumer base for both GrabFood and Foodpanda. Now, let's look at the silver lining in figure 5, continuance intention or user retention. The risk of intermediate churn is exceptionally low. Users strongly intend to keep using this platform long term, with female demonstrating the highest level of brand commitment. But we cannot afford to be complacent. These highly loyal, locked-in users are the same ones feeling the pinch of high costs. To protect this committed space and maximize their lifetime value, optimizing pricing structure and expanding restaurant network is absolutely critical. Finally, figure 6 look at proportional offers. While discounts are the fantastic customer acquisition tool, with female flocking heavily to GrabFood and Shopee Food for deals, they do not cure the underlying operational headache. Even with a voucher in hand, baseline transaction costs and poor restaurant variety heavily dictate overall satisfaction. To wrap it all up, our technical ecosystem are stable. Social circles drive our growth and customer loyalty is remarkably high. However, the battleground is not in the app store or the UI layout. It is in the economic of the delivery fee and the diversity of the merchant network. Fix the pricing mechanics and expand the food selections, and we secure long-term market dominance.
In conclusion, this study shows that Weka data mining techniques successfully identify the main factors influencing customer experience with food delivery applications. The findings highlight the importance of improving service quality, delivery efficiency, and user satisfaction. Based on the results, food delivery providers should focus on enhancing their services by reducing delivery delays, improving app performance, and offering attractive promotions. For future research, a larger and more diverse dataset, together with additional variables, can provide more comprehensive insights into customer behavior. That's all from us. Thank you.